Sailor Piece has a lot of different systems. And if you want to progress fast, you need to build all of them together, instead of only chasing the next weapon. So in this video, I am going to show you the full beginner to end game route, what you should unlock first, what you should save for later, and how to keep getting stronger without wasting time. Early game level 1 to around 3,500. Right when you join the game, first claim the group reward, and right after that, use every available code. I am showing all codes on the screen, and I am also putting them in the pinned comment, so you can copy them easily. After that, do not throw all your gems away on random fruit spins. Early on, the much safer and much better route is to stay on combat and katana, and save your money and gems for Dark Blade. Dark Blade is sold by the Dark Blade seller on Snow Island, and it costs 250,000 cash and 150 gems. That is your first big weapon jump, and it is much more reliable than gambling early. While you are still very early, go to Academy Island and do the Demonite Core quest from the Anos trainer. This quest is worth doing immediately, because it has no real early barrier, and it starts opening up future progress. To complete it, you need to Demonite fragments. The first one is on the tree near the spawn point on Academy Island. The second one is on the right side of the dungeon roof on the same island. Once you collect both, you complete the Demonite Core quest and unlock the Anos boss route. This is important because it lets you start working toward Calamity Seals much earlier, and those matter later. If you decide to go for Anos Melee, after that, unlock both hockey systems as early as possible. First, get Armament Hockey on Snow Island. To unlock it, talk to the hockey trainer and complete 3 requirements. Using combat, you need to kill 250 NPCs with combat. Use combat Z 100 times and punch 1,000 times with combat. Once you unlock Armament Hockey, it gives a 25% damage increase right away, and every level gives another 0.5% damage, all the way up to level 100. That means this is one of the biggest early damage boosts in the whole game, and because you are already using combat in early game, this is exactly when you should do it. Then also unlock Observation Hockey from the Observation Hockey trainer on Desert Island. That one costs 250,000 money and 300 gems. Observation gives you dodges, which already helps a lot early on, and it also matters later when you go for Conqueror Hockey. So this is not something you should leave for much later. Also in early game, unlock artifacts as soon as you can on Snow Island. Once artifacts are unlocked, they can start dropping from enemies, which means every normal grind after that becomes more useful. Early on, do not overthink artifacts too much. Just equip pieces that give damage or useful set bonuses and delete bad ones. For dust, it takes 287 dust to fully level 1 artifact. So at the start, do not waste all your dust maxing one random piece. Spread levels across your useful pieces first, so you get more value faster. This is also where your first rerolls matter. Since this is a beginner route, your goal is not some perfect endgame setup yet. For race, try to get at least an epic. And Vampire is already a very nice early roll. For trade, aim for an epic too. And Ascended or Overdrive are already good enough for the start. For clan, you probably will not have many rerolls yet, so try to land Rakeage or Zoldyck, because they help your early leveling and resource gain more than just sitting on a useless clan. And right after you get a decent gem stack, start rolling your stats a little bit too, and settle for at least B rank stats, instead of leaving everything weak. Mid-game around 3,500 to 6,500. This is where your route starts becoming much more boss-focused at this stage. You should start challenging the Shibuya bosses and Jinwoo regularly, because this is where drops begin to matter much more, and titles start becoming real account upgrades instead of just extra collectibles. You should also start paying attention to Ascensions now, because early Ascensions are very realistic around this point, and they give permanent buffs to money, gems, luck, and cooldown reduction, which helps everything you do later. Your next big weapon upgrade here is Griffin. Griffin is sold by the Griffin seller on Shibuya Station, and it costs 650,000 cash and 650 gems. That makes it the clean next step after Dark Blade for sword progression around this stage. Legendary races and legendary traits should start becoming your standard target, because early game filler rolls are no longer enough once bosses and dungeons start becoming more important. Mid-game is also where you should start caring about simple but efficient damage upgrades. Titles are a very good example. Blade Master is one of the easiest, useful damage titles, and you get it by defeating Saber on Boss Island. That title gives 15% damage, which is already a very nice jump for something not too hard if you want something much stronger. Then Shadow Dungeon becomes a very important grind, because Eminence in Shadow gives 40% damage, which is a huge boost for this stage of the game. At the same time, keep using codes whenever new ones come out, because mid-game is where free gems and re-rolls actually save you a lot of grinding time. Sub-League game around 6,500 to 9,000. This is where a lot of players either start progressing really fast or get stuck because this is the point where raw level is not enough anymore. Your artifacts now matter a lot. So stop equipping random pieces and start prioritizing damage, crit chance, crit damage, and useful set bonuses. Rune Dungeon also becomes a very big part of your damage here around this stage. Destruction is a very strong rune goal for more damage, and if you happen to get Wrath or Havoc, that is also huge, even easier. Rune Dungeon runs can still give you something useful, so do not think you need to only spam the hardest mode right away around here. You should also start caring more about accessories, and a very solid temporary accessory, a Shadow Cloak from the Dungeon Shop or the Dungeon Boss. It is not your final endgame accessory, but it is a strong and realistic piece for this stage. This is also the point where your clan should start getting upgraded, if possible if you can move into stronger, epic or better clan roles here. Do it because clans start mattering a lot more. From this stage onward, this is also where your progression route starts, becoming more specific for swords. The clean path is Katana into Dark Blade into Griffin, and after that you usually start aiming towards stronger options, like Ichigo or Sid, depending on what your account can realistically farm. For melee, the path starts from combat, and then moves into stronger boss or summon-based melee routes as your account gets stronger. The important thing here is that your level alone does not decide when you should switch. What matters is whether your account is actually strong enough to farm the next step efficiently. So do not rush into something much harder just because you unlocked a new island. Move when the farm is realistic and efficient. Late game around 9,000 to 13,000. Now your focus shifts from simple upgrades into bigger account systems that prepare you for real endgame. The first major thing here is skill tree, and you should unlock it on Slime Island the moment you can. Then start taking your hockey levels much more seriously, because this is where you begin preparing for Conqueror Hockey. Your next big aim here should usually be Ichigo or Sit, because both help prepare you for the much harder grind after that. At the same time, start stacking boss keys, because boss farming becomes a much bigger part of progression, and keys save a lot of time. By now, mythic traits and mythic races should be your standard goal, and if you land a secret trait already, then that is even better. Also, the moment you reach level 10,000, unlock spec passives on Judgment Island. That system costs 5,000 gems to unlock, and once it is unlocked, passive shards start dropping from NPCs and some bosses. This becomes another huge long-term damage system, so do not ignore it once you reach the requirement. Late game is also the point where you should know exactly what Conqueror Hockey needs, because a lot of people delay it too long. To start the Conqueror Hockey route, you need one Conqueror Fragment. After that, the full training requires level 40 Armament Hockey, Ascension level 5, level 25 Observation Hockey, 500 NPC kills with Armament Hockey active, 500 dodges with Observation Hockey, 200 boss kills, and 25 dungeon clears. Once you finish all of that, you unlock Conqueror Hockey, and at max level, it gives a permanent 25% damage boost. That is why the earlier hockey work from early and mid-game matters so much later, endgame 13,000 and above. This is where the game stops being about only getting one more weapon and starts being about maxing every stack system on your account at this point. Your real goal is to finish the systems that multiply your total damage together. Max your ascensions, max your hockey levels, max your rune levels, get much better artifact substats, get better accessories, and start enchanting them. Aim for top-end traits like Celestial, Singularity, or Emperor, and make sure mythic races like Sword, Blessed Warlord, and Kitsune are in your storage, so you can swap depending on the build you want. This is also the stage where you want your best clans. Ready Eminence should be one of your first priorities, because of how useful it is for farming. And after that, you want strong damage clans like Pride and Upper, plus other endgame routes, depending on what weapon or melee line you are following on top of that. Max your skill tree, min-max your artifacts. Max your boss rush upgrades. Max your tower upgrades, get the best power you can. Reroll better spec passes. And eventually push your stats all the way into triple S or Z. That is the real endgame, not only owning a strong spec, but owning the full stacked account behind it. So overall, the best free-to-play progression route in Sailor PCs is this: start safe with combat and katana. Claim group reward. Use all codes immediately, do the Demonite core quest. Immediately unlock armament hockey. Immediately unlock observation hockey and artifacts early. Save for Dark Blade, then move into Griffin once mid-game starts. After that, start farming Shibuya bosses, Jinwoo Ascension's runes, titles and stronger accessories. Then unlock skill tree, prepare for Conqueror hockey. Unlock spec passives at level 10,000, and build toward Ichigo or Sid before moving into your strong late-game branches. And once you hit real endgame, stop thinking only about the next weapon and start maxing every account system together, because that is what actually makes your damage go much higher and your account feel complete. And now for the giveaway. Congratulations to the winner of the previous giveaway. If you see your Roblox username on the screen, make sure you have accepted my friend request so I can send you your reward. If you also want to win any Game Pass, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and most importantly, leave your exact Roblox username in the comments below so I can send you your reward if you win. If you have any questions about this video, feel free to ask them in the comments. And for exclusive content, giveaways, and to hang out with the community, check out my Discord and Roblox group for a chance to join me in game. You can also follow my Roblox profile. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more Sailor Peace content.